And we are back, 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major jumping into this next set. Dynasty taking on Legion, X Factor, and Infamous. And I got Kyle Spica and Alex Goldman from AC Diesel fresh off a win to help me call this set. And looks like a pretty aggressive break here for San Diego Dynasty. Going to take some ground Snake side with 3 bodies this way. Send Arturo Andrade immediately into Snake 1. And then Legion's going to answer on some secondaries and also going to take some ground.
Yeah, Dynasty with a really good breakout with Arturo all the way to the Snake 1, cutting off any center penetration for the Russians and that Doritos side. And then beautifully followed up by Alex Frage. And this is what needs to happen on the Snake side, is at least a 2-man attack. And now they have Archie in that tower as an overlook and an extra layer. This is exactly how the Snake side needs to play out.
Yeah, and looking also, Kyle, you were playing, both you guys feasted in that last match. But having multiple bodies on this side when the chaos sets in is crucially important. We're seeing a ton of teams sometimes just put 1 body at the can and send 4 bodies here into the Snake storm.
Yeah, that's like what Dynasty's doing right now. But yeah, it comes, I think it's like you got to play that disciplined game, but also be able to turn it on. Like Mouse and I were able to get some penetration over here on the Snake side and some points that needed to turn the field.
Yeah,
exactly. Speaking of turning the field, so now that Arturo's missed that shot on Karslev in the 3rd Dorito, he needs to now play forward and try to turn the field for Dynasty.
Yeah, and Burtnikov into the crucial wedge structure. So we'll call on that little section in there the wedge structure, because you got the wedge and then, you know, the first part of it. But that's a crucial part of this field, too.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Talk to me a little bit about that, Kyle.
So it's interesting because obviously you can kind of get up there at will. You know, you have that outside route or the inside route going past the Aztec up into that fortress. But you have a lot of vision early in the game of all the interior bunkers, both of the Aztecs, the back center, any secondary moves. It's really nice to be able to kind of play off of it. And if you have guys alive, you can really decide what you want to do there. You can bug a lot of people.
Body dropping right now for Legion out of the back corner bunker. Sergey's still alive behind Malloy, but it is looking better here for Dynasty now that they got that player out of that back corner bunker. Mouse, talk to me about that back corner bunker. I mean, lots of teams been getting in there. It seems pretty crucial.
So just the most important thing all over on this field is not losing those bodies like Russians just did out of that tower, because now you can't afford a trade with Malloy trying to get Alex or Sergey coming through to match Arturo. You have to have that 7-man mentality of just having the bodies alive and then go from there and have that 2-man operation on both sides.
Here comes a move from Malloy. He comes up and he does get that kill, but it costs his body. So Arturo is still alive out here wide. Referee, looks like Frazee wanted to stay in there, but the ref pulling him out. So Arturo's still alive, Archie behind him, but Legion taking some ground on that D side, getting into D3 here. Crossfield shots, always crucial, particularly on this field. We've been seeing a lot of guys get chopped up trying to get from D to D3 to D3 from D2. It's been kind of the zone of death over there a little bit. Now as Arturo Andrade is going to hit the deck and crawl in, it's going to force a concession though with just too many bodies out there. Ryan Greenspan's still alive, Marcelo Margot, Archie was starting to look pretty bad there for Legion. So going to reset, get back to 5-on-5 here, but the first point going to go to San Diego Dynasty.
Did you get to see some of the matches before? Of course you did. I saw you walking around the practice fields.
Yeah, and it's one of these. So let me ask this. This is actually a question right now. X Factor, Infamous. Infamous already warmed up with a win, looking pretty good against Latin Saints. But X Factor got to scout them. They got to watch the entire thing. Which is the bigger advantage, though? I mean, as I feel like playing the field, you could kind of argue it either way, because now X Factor has, they know what they're going to be dealing with.
Honestly, I'd rather be Infamous because they won their first game and now they, got that fluid motion going.
Kind of similar to ours.
Yeah,
Revo saw.
Yeah, feeling the confidence.
Yeah, X Factor's kind of coming out cold. Yeah, they got the advantage on the scouting report, but physically, Infamous has played the field now.
Yeah. So Infamous now taking a big bite, going all the way into D3. And going to make it clean here off the break. And also going to scurry out, get another body. No one really taking a ton of ground here Snake side yet, but now Cali Rudolph on a secondary going to get up into the Aztec. And Billy Bernaccia, body language from the red side here for X Factor. Looking like he wants to move up too. I think Billy could thrive on a Snake like this.
You just saw that move from Infamous going up out of that center Aztec into that inside channel.
Yeah, Cali Rudolph with his 3rd move, getting into that important wedge structure. And now they have D3, they have Cali up there, now just gonna have to try to find a way to get into this Snake. Both teams mirrored up at the tower currently, but better field position here currently for Infamous. Good communication from both squads. Neither team dropped a body. You guys see any bodies drop yet?
No, I have not. 5-on-5, but Infamous looks like they're playing a little more confident with their body language. You got Ryan Hall in that back temple, on his feet over the top, but Meter down low on both knees. And his mirror filling out to the snake corner now.
X Factor, yeah, swinging out Billy over to the brick, and then Meter Ninos out here to the snake corner.
And Zach Patient matches Meter's move out to the corner from the tower.
Billy's probing. He's looking for it. He definitely looks like he wants to make that next move. He's going to be content to shoot crossfield so far.
And Billy's one of those guys, you give him enough time, he's going to get crafty and find the hole.
This is, you know, I see certain fields, and sometimes like, okay, this team, this player going to thrive in a situation like this. This could be a really good snake side for a Billy Bernaccia. He can play aggressive and drop hammers when he needs to. He can get crafty when he needs to. He's been doing it for, 487 years. He's been out there forever.
I got to give a shout out to Mouse. All the moves that I'm doing out there, I'm asking Mouse a lot. Mouse is quarterbacking me, so.
No, you guys looked, I know you dropped that first game, but Jesus, you came back with some fire in that second one and looked really good out there. The combo of you two over here on the snake side, very potent. And yeah, I mean, you guys actually had a couple good moves even in that loss too, but I mean, that was a close match.
Yeah, it feels good. We just got to work on that unity.
It was that tough, that spin point where you can either go up by 3 or you can go to a 2-1.
Well, and also, we'll talk a little bit more about that game in a bit here as Infamous now making moves, getting patient, diving into the insert bunker here, snake side, and Billy actually got clipped out from this snake side while he was probing, ended up getting shot cross field on a move. So now, but it looks like Ryan Hall going to be taking the walk here for Infamous as Patient makes his move into the snake to join Callie Rudolph. And Infamous still, they've had that D3 position essentially since the beginning of this match.
Callie just staying disciplined on that Dorito fill.
Yeah, that has been such a brutal zone to get through. So many kills have come from this exact position. But you got to stay disciplined, like you said, to stay on that side. Here comes Infamous making a move out wide with Brustleback. Brustleback into the back corner bunker, D side of the field.
Although these games, I think, it can get pretty slow and a little stale, it's really interesting when you're out there because there's a lot more time to have some more fluid conversations, really like picking apart and solving that difficult math equation.
I always say I don't mind if a point goes a little long as things are happening.
Yeah.
It's when everyone's been in the same spots and just kind of like a 4-on-4 pillow fight, no moves, been happening for like a minute and a half, no one's even shooting their guns. That's when it just, as a fan, gets a little boring. I don't mind it if it's a 5-6 minute long point if there's little things happening. It's like when you watch like an MMA match. Yeah, it's fun to watch dudes just smash each other in the face, but I don't mind watching like a tactical jiu-jitsu battle if you know what you're watching. And so yeah, it is fun to see some of these points that have gone a little bit longer because it's paintball, man. It's the fields change. It's good to have diversity out here in the way that tactics and strategy can be implemented. As Colt Roberts bided his time, but finally getting into that crucial spot, and they find a way to get a shot in on Callie.
I can't tell. Is that Tom Guest over there in the Dorito can?
I think it's Cody.
Cody, okay.
And I said Marcelo earlier. I'm sorry. That was Cody.
Oh, so that an exchange. Oh, but I don't know if Meter knew that Infamous had 2 Dorito guys left over there.
And he kind of just gave his body.
Yeah. So now, what do we have, a 2-on-2 here?
Yeah, it looks like a 2-on-2.
TJ Danner still alive as a stopgap measure over here on the snake side of the field as the chaos came through. And he's going to get out wide here, snake side. But here comes the push from Infamous. Infamous onto X Factor side of the field. And
Tim getting caught trying to match TJ Danner.
Yeah, he's wondering where he got shot, though.
Yeah,
he's
and
like,
I didn't
did I
really
actually
see
get
anything
shot?
on
I
his
didn't see
back.
anything either, but the referee chased him down. And then a full commitment on that D side, but TJ Danner had repositioned to try to get that shot in on him. It definitely does end up working out for TJ Danner. So they get the shot in on Tim. Tim wondering where he was hit. Full commitment on the D side with that run through to get the shot. I think that was Cody. But TJ Danner, man, this is what TJ Danner does, though. He lives in situations like this more often than he doesn't, and that's why having a guy like TJ is pretty crucial. This is a chaotic field. The variables are going to be changing, and he was just a little bit crisper. Had his head on a swivel and ended up getting that crossfield kill that was the difference. And also, I don't know who the hell shot Tim Brustleback, but
that might have came from the divisional fields. But, TJ...
I mean, at least they put the divisional fields like 300 yards from here on this one. So we don't have to worry about inadvertent horns or random shots.
Looks like for Dynasty, we got Chris Shear coming out, Blake, Yosh, Harrison Fry, and Mikey Arena.
So that was
the 2 new pickups.
So you just
Dynasty.
came from Dynasty. I was kind of wondering, sorry to interrupt, but with the pickup, so they lose Dalton, all this chaos happens. Dalton
Caused
gets
a little rift.
Yeah, it's a little rift. But then Impact takes Dalton. Then they get Chris Shear and Harrison Fry. But I'm kind of wondering who's going to be getting more of the spins over there. I think that's to be decided, right? It's like who's actually going to step up and perform. But both those guys, Shear was the elite threat you had to worry about on Revo, and Harrison Fry was that guy infamous for a couple years. So,
Yeah.
Going to come down to what the field asks for.
Sure. I thought, obviously some of the fields didn't permit it, and it wouldn't be as much on this field as well because it's a little bit harder to get on that Dorito side. But Mike Urena has really been impressing me. Even that last year playing with Dynasty, I think that he's another one of those guys that can easily step up too and fill a guy like Dalton's shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you bolster one guy. With that Chris Shear pickup is a good.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to keep Mikey out of the conversation, but anyone in the know already knows that Mikey's
For
really
sure.
good.
No, I was.
So
just
I
saying.
know Skinny's going to give him his opportunity.
I guess I was just saying it seemed like they picked up a lot of Dorito guys,
Yes.
and Mikey was playing the Dorito as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but versatility's key, man. I mean, the best in the business can play anywhere. I mean, yeah, you're going to get, like Mouse, people, okay, he's a snake side beast because, well, that's typically the most important side on the field. So if we got the biggest beast, you got to put him in the most important spot. It's like the most athletic guy on a baseball team. Well, you're going to be playing shortstop, and so because the shortstop comes up, it's like, I really feel like I want to play first base. It's like, nah, bro, we're paying you $8 million a year to play shortstop. That's what
right.
you're going to do.
Russians
I wish I was getting that.
got a little bit of a late start. It looked like the back center Dorito player was the move that he's making right now on your screen. He was trying to make that off the break. He forgot to touch up. He came back, so he stopped at the back center before he made that move.
I like the adjustment Russians made, though. With Karslev, they ran him wide on the Dorito side. Now he's in that inset half cake on that Dorito side. Just a different look, switching it up.
Yeah, got to stay diverse out there in your strategy. So it looks like Mike Urena,
And
he
I
gets
think
into the
Karslev is
bunker.
waiting on this move from Harrison right here, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Harrison might be able to catch him.
Harrison Fry crawling up into that important wedge. Little retreat here from Malloy. Malloy's going to get out to try to protect that east side angle. Backed up off that spot quite a bit. Karslev's right beside him at the wedge.
That spot, too, is knowing how many shots there are, because I play it, too, as well, and I was just over there asking Malloy where he's going to play on the field, and he's like, your same spot. That's a dangerous spot for a guy like Malloy, who's crafty. He's quick. He can go in between those two spots.
Well, Kyle, to speak on that, what we've seen is that because there's so many things and places you can go from that wedge, so you can, protect a D side, you can attack, go to the bricks. There's a lot to do there. So when you get a creative, aggressive player who's also good at kind of sucking up when he needs to play defense, yeah, there's a very versatile spot.
Sure.
A guy like Malloy is going to be very dangerous in that position. Harrison Fry now, he's going to crawl up as Malloy's going to commit. So Malloy
Didn't even look. He just made that move. I think he wasn't even worried.
Yeah, he must have. I mean, Malloy does that though, right? He always seems to, more often than not,
make the right move.
Even though it looks like he didn't check off on the lane, maybe he found that angle from a different spot. Didn't he see paintballs flying through the air and then makes a move across? So he gets to the break.
Oh, and he gets the cross shot on Chris Shear diving into the Dorito. 3, are you guys calling that over there?
D3, yeah.
And then Yosh.
2 big kills for the Russians.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Especially with the rest of the Dynasty guys on this side, but it's still strong. Dynasty's still in strong positioning.
Now here's the mistake. Urena should have stayed inside to avoid this move that Malloy's making.
Well, Malloy's just coming through and just dominant. He stitches up
doing
Urena.
Malloy stuff.
Yeah, Malloy just a little 2-pack here, trying to close out. It's just Blake Yarber who did a little retreat to get back to the Aztec, a little more defensible position. Does get the drop in on Malloy, but there are a flood of Legion bodies in front of him. Here comes Karslev. And Sergey also behind him. They got another body over here as well, too. Ooh, it looks like
I think that was a team kill. I think that was a team kill.
Either way, I mean, they still have the bodies to close this one. 3-on-1 for the Russians.
Yeah, so they finally hard-fought battle from Blake there.
Great move.
Bodies, but not enough.
Great move by Malloy. I mean, 2 moves there. One coming across to the 50 brick. It's like he was just looking and didn't even know if anyone was on that gap, made the move, and then he knew once he eliminated those 2 Dorito players, he could go into their wedge and then execute that move, getting two guys.
Is there still one body in the back corner bunker, Mouse? Can you see from your angle?
I don't believe that.
No, that's it.
So,
that,
okay, I was
yeah.
like, somebody's shooting at
communication.
somebody.
Yeah, because we had Chris Shear, Yosh were the first 2, and then those 3 guys over here.
Yeah, it's talk to me a little bit about how is it hard to keep the count out there? It seems a little bit.
I think as long as you have a guy on the snake tape that can just see those bodies walk back to the pit, there should be no reason you lose sight of the count.
Yeah, because we are occasionally watching guys dip into different spots to cause a little bit of confusion. Sometimes that can cause the count to get dropped too. It shouldn't, as you say. I mean, if you have somebody diligent enough and you know your enemies and you see, if Yosh walks off, okay, we just shot Yosh, right? If you can see Sheer walk off, all right, hey, kill 2 so-and-so, right? But it's not always that easy.
Yeah, I don't give anybody the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it's hard for them to count 5, so.
Yeah.
But it is really easy to lose where these guys are going on the field.
Yeah. D side not as much as snake side, but that middle and snake, and people getting a little crafty out there, just keep seeing it all day long. Kill count could be off by 1. It's not as bad. We've seen way worse fields as far as trying to keep the count. So now Infamous down by 1 to San Antonio X Factor. And on the breakout, taking a lot of ground here as Infamous goes all the way to the brick off the break.
I like that move. I don't think I've seen that run all day. Infamous running.
Yeah, we haven't seen it much. Yeah, but he makes it clean. And 5 alive for both squads. Tom Guest going to get up and crawl up into that important, crucial wedge spot. We just saw Malloy do some work from. And he's going to zone up on that brick. Player for Infamous is off that brick, not touching it, though, not telegraphing its move. Yeah, it looks like Callie is going to be taking the walk from that D side. Here comes Jesse Stevens, going to get into position to help out Tom. Oh, looks like Tom might want to try to run him down.
But this Infamous does have this player here in the back, Aztec. That's the only guy that can really see straight down this center channel.
Ryan Hall.
Yeah, is that Ryan Hall back there?
I think so, yeah.
I just think Infamous could do a better job.
Tom just got a nice kill on Ryan Hall back there. Go ahead, Mouse.
Sorry, I was just going to say, that was a great game plan off the break for Infamous, but they should have complemented that move that they ran the 50 brick with Zach trying to make a push, and then Ryan as the layer, as the third body, coming into the tower.
That's a good point. We've seen this actually a couple times today, Mouse, where a team will risk, right? Big move off the break or some chaotic thing happens, and the other team doesn't really, and their teammates doesn't capitalize on it.
Yeah, like just hoping that guy does all the work, and that's not how this field plays.
Yeah.
And this is important here too for X Factor being. That wasn't our field.
Inadvertent horn.
So.
Tom with a nice move on the
that's
inner
a
channel.
Great
Stays
move.
alive.
The one thing that needed to happen.
Jesse with a nice follow-up behind Tom.
Yeah, that's a nice move by, though maybe is hit. Might be a penalty assessed. No, don't see it yet. Yeah. We are actually going to see a minor. So Tom Guest going to be drawing a minor. But we talked about playing off chaos. Look what Jesse Stevens is doing right now. That's how it's supposed to be done.
I think he might be able to catch him in the pack here.
He sees him. He just was waiting for the shot, Jesse.
I don't know.
I thought I saw something break off.
It looked like something
might have hit the bunker.
He's clean. Now he knows. And that minor that was assessed, I think they missed Jesse because they ran backwards. Jesse made us move into their snake right away.
They go and pull TJ out, and that leaves Jesse basically by himself in, yes, a huge fortress of bunkers, but does he have a body behind him?
Yeah,
okay, no, he does got Cody Mikowski behind him.
And as that chaos just went down, lucky, looks like X Factor is going to be able to pull this point out, but could have easily went south. They were 5-on-3.
Jesse with the clutch.
Yeah, that was
make some moves here, and then all of a sudden it's back in almost an even game, or like 2-2, 2-on-2, 2-on-3. Got to be really careful on this field.
Interesting story though in this match. Cody already playing his previous team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Right out the gate. That's always interesting.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, and that's a huge pickup. Cody Mikowski's been so clutch. You need, guys with composure, guys who can shoot bodies on the break, can close games, thrive in chaos. When the scramble sets in, I mean, that's the type of guy you want in your squad. It's a huge pickup because they lose. X Factor loses Rainey, they go get Cody. That's huge. They get Jesse Stevens back after he's got a nice new job and got his life dialed in so he can commit himself to paintball. That was a nice point for Jesse Stevens. So good to see him back and looking good. Tie ball game right now, Legion and Dynasty. Dynasty going to risk out to that back corner bunker D side with, I think, Marcelo a little blocked out from that spot. And Malloy's going to go right back into this wedge here off the break. Karslev right beside him. Frazier with a delay also into the wedge structure, but into the first notch of it. And they're going to be losing Arturo, I believe, in that back corner bunker. Here comes Montemayor. He's going to get out to the Aztec, and then they get a body out from that back center as well, too. So a couple nice secondaries, but Dynasty does lose a body. Some also good forward progression here for Legion as they get a body up into the snake structure to help out Malloy. Sergey right
really
behind
good
them.
Position here.
Yeah, they look really good. Nice positioning here.
Definitely have a snake. Oh, but Sergey getting clipped out of here, so we're seeing a
good move for Alex, but they just don't have the bodies to be doing
well,
that.
now it's a 3. Now it's a 3-on-3. Marcelo's in the Dorito corner now, making a move into that first little Dorito. With I believe that's Ryan behind him in the can. So it looks a good old-fashioned island drill here with the Dynasty having the Dorito advantage and Russians having the snake advantage.
Yeah, here's where the chess match unravels. Who's gonna make the first mistake or drop the first body?
Well, Archie, only body here, snake side for Dynasty. And then they have 2 more towards the D side with Ryan and Marcelo, but they got a crossfield spread. A little bit better field position here for Legion, but no one behind him. So, yeah, like you said, you're on an island. What are you going to do with it?
Yeah, and if Archie doesn't really give these guys anything, I think they're going to Dynasty's going to start to put it together on the Dorito side.
Yeah, to be honest, Maddie, I'd rather be Dynasty in this situation because you're so limited of where you can go on the snake side once you get to these 50s.
Russian sneaking into the 50 snake. I don't know if he has a shot across on that Dorito too. You know?
Yeah, and
Mouse?
neither team
does not.
Neither team with the lead to protect, and we're down about 6.5 minutes left.
Big point for both teams.
Yeah, this is a big moment right here. Tied at 1. Neither team with an advantage on the body count. Yeah, Legion with a little bit better field position, you could say. But like Mouse was saying, I mean, that guy's got his face in the dirt, not getting a lot of information. Closest guy to him's quite a bit far away, so it's going to be tough for him to get communication in here. But he's going to crawl up and get onto Dynasty's side of the field. And with the way that bunker's deflated, he might have an angle on that D2 position where Marcelo is.
Yeah, I think what needs to happen
I think if
here,
he actually goes in set, he might be able to see Ryan's pack too.
well, what I'd like to see
look
is
this way.
Malloy muscle Archie and stop playing the tape, and this guy in the snake for the Russians
Ryan's gonna
start
see.
rapping and looking for Ryan and Marcelo.
He's gonna get his gun up.
And there he
he's
goes.
breaking paint.
He had the
Almost
drop
put a
on
ball
his,
on Ryan.
So now Marcelo knows where he is. So Marcelo's going to start pumping paint towards that end. So he's going to crawl back to Malloy, but they have 2 bodies essentially in the same position here.
And that should give the green light to Marcelo, knowing that there's a gun down on the snake side.
Well, Ryan did get pinched from that cam position. Oh, and they're going to lose Archie. Archie is the one that gets called out. Ryan's still alive. He just digged out and got with Marcelo. So it's going to be Ryan Greenspan and Marcelo Margot to try to get it done. And Ryan positioned and got the shot in on. There's 2 bodies coming off.
Wow,
the Legion.
2-on-1 for
Just
Dynasty.
Malloy left.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone can do it, it would be Malloy. But unfortunately for Malloy, he's looking at both Marcelo and Ryan.
Yeah, Marcelo's looking to get behind him.
And we know how Marcelo and Ryan play. They're not going to give you that body.
Yeah, it's Malloy. So that's the only, it's anyone else, curtains, and still probably going to be curtains anyway because it is Ryan and Marcelo.
It doesn't look like Malloy has much paint left either.
Vegas odds, Dynasty is the favorite.
Yeah, definitely. So, and again, this is a very crucial point because we're down to 4:44 left. If Dynasty can finish off this high body situation, it gives them a 1-point advantage, and the longer it takes them to do it, the better.
Systematically right there for Ryan, dropping the hammer.
Yeah, it was nicely executed.
Good point.
Really good point.
Well, and it's interesting because kind of like you said, you said, hey, I'd almost rather be Dynasty in this situation. Yeah, Legion has 2 bodies in that important snake, but they're a little limited because you can't see a ton, right? And then you have 1 body on an island on that D side. If that guy dies, well, now you're kind of going to be in a bigger, tougher position, and sure enough.
I do think that Russian player in their snake 1 could have executed those shots better.
Yeah.
He should have took his time on Ryan, make sure he got a ball on him,
Yeah.
come back, tell Malloy you got that kill. Now you figure out the last 2 bodies and close that one out together. But
Well, Legion's on a rebuild, right? So it's going to take some time to get these guys to get their, experience and skill to a point where that will become academic and second nature, And also, it looked like he was breaking some paint. So
Yeah.
not an ideal
Shredding.
situation to shred.
He
from.
had Ryan at the rights there.
now we're back to this X Factor infamous match. X Factor up 2.
Yeah, a little bit more time in this one, 6:42 to go.
I like this. Billy pushing the pace, kind of just offsetting everything.
And X
keeping
Factor
them
took a
honest.
risk out to that back Dorito as well.
And they lose Nate Schrader. He's coming off for Infamous, so this is advantage X Factor with the position and the body count. Jamrose answers, and he's right in front of Billy. Who's going to win this battle here, Snake side? Jamrose is going to run all the way out. Did he get a ball in on Billy? He did, but it cost him a body. And now Infamous is going to reposition. Thomas Taylor dives over.
3 on 4. Advantage for X Factor.
Colt Roberts dives into the wedge, getting to that crucial spot. They also have a body into D3. TJ Danner out there to help him. I think that's Cody, or is that LJ or Cody? I can't quite tell from here.
On the Dorito side, that's Cody.
Yeah, it's Cody.
And here's the difference. X Factor's playing off these trades in the chaos. Infamous is still sitting back in the bunkers that they're starting in.
That's the key, man. That's been this field. If you can't work off that chaos, take advantage of your guys making moves, or a move that the other team happens, it doesn't work out.
Russell
That's going to be who wins
moves
this
over here,
tournament.
though. But I think Colt, and then we lose Thomas out of the Snake Tower.
Opportunities dwindling here in this point for Los Angeles Infamous as X Factor has the ground on the D side.
Joe Barrett in the Snake Tower. He gets peeled off. And they shoot Tim. That's curtains.
Yeah, so nice job by Colt Roberts, Cody Bayless, Meter Ninos.
I mean, that's can't do much more than that when, you know, X Factor makes it both out to the 50 Snake, out to the Dorito tape, and then your team loses a guy off the break.
Yeah,
You're not out wide.
Yeah, it's a gutsy play call from Ryan Brand. It works out. Then it forces Jonah to run all the way out and trade. And then Mouse, like we've been saying this, I'm glad you brought it up because I've been saying it all day, is that the teams that look better are the teams that are willing to go, that are throwing different changes out there, not one-dimensional, and then thriving in those chaotic moments when the blows happen, that you're the one acting and forcing the other team to react. And X Factor is just looking like the tighter-knit team right now in those situations. So
So we're
Dynasty,
seeing, it looks like their Dynasty is doing 2 rotation, putting that other line back out here.
yeah, so they got Sheer and Harrison out there with Urena, and I think Yosh.
And Russians, notorious, just running the same 5.
Yeah, and they have a light line here. I mean, and no Smotroff, that definitely is going to hurt their offense. Harrison crawling up to mirror up the move from Burtnikoff. Dynasty's going to flood a body out wide here. Snake side, makes it clean. Blake Yarber at the Aztec, gunning up over the top. Going to get checked back in and stays alive. Here comes Diego getting into the Snake for Legion.
but
Penalty going to be assessed on Kirill Peridny. Don't see a ton of penalties on Kirill. That's definitely going to hurt him. So there's no one on the D side at all right now.
Just under 4 minutes left. That was huge.
Yeah, massive moment here for Dynasty. Get a bit of a gift on a penalty. They got the 1-point lead. They can get this one, burn another minute and a half off. It's going to be looking really good here in their first game.
And look at Dynasty. Harrison Fry just staying disciplined now, you know, waiting for Dorito to fill out. Snaps Malloy out from his mirror on the inside.
Yeah, smart concession for Legion at that point in time. They still had 2 bodies left alive, but all that was going to do is just burn more clock off. Dynasty had a slew of bodies out there still. Yeah, so,
I think the biggest story for the Dorito side on this layout is what guy that plays the can is willing to just survive and do the hard work.
Yeah. Which is interesting because a lot of these guys, I mean, if you're a 1 on the D side, you're typically a guy that's willing to push forward, you have aggressive tendencies, and now we're looking at a situation where that guy's now going to play the can, which is a completely different role. But you want that guy in there because he could steal a point, he could slip in there, you know, because there's very few points where one team overwhelmingly beats the other team. Typically, that's not how it's going down out here. It's going to be a little bit of a war. One team's going to get the advantage, and then what that D-side player does from that can, because there's almost always a guy in that can, you know, that's huge too. I mean, this wedge structure is huge. Obviously, the Snake, I mean, yes, of course, that's important. Back bunker on the Snake side, but that's what's fascinating. Again, the points are going a little bit longer, but it's all these little mini battles that are occurring out there.
I think that's where the game's evolving. You can't be a specialist anymore. You know, the pace has changed from layout to layout way too much, and you got to learn all of them.
Yeah. I like the diversity in the layouts. I don't mind a layout like this every now and then, you know? It doesn't have to be, all right, giddy up, boys, and just run into the guns all the time. That's super fun to watch, but I'm enjoying this layout. It's going to be interesting to see how it develops, too, because as the teams start figuring out, and again, people only had 1 weekend on this one, so it's not like everyone knows it like the back of their hand. It's going to take a little bit of a learning curve.
And honestly, that additional cake on the outside of the 50 Snake brick changes things a little bit too.
Speeds the snake side up.
It's a little bit easier to come across either into the 50 snake on the outside or even go across into their snake on the inside channel.
Yeah, did you guys agree with that move, or did you disagree?
That wasn't asked to anyone, but I think it was probably good as far as safety, but I don't know if that is the best fix. Maybe move the beam into the 50 brick. So
I think they didn't want to change it so drastically that it would completely throw out everything that everyone did.
I mean, that does change it a little.
That's the argument, the conversation at least.
The day one on the layout practicing it, we knew that was dangerous. That should have been addressed, and the feedback given back to the league right away, so that adjustment could have been changed before going into the event.
I honestly thought of something, and it's kind of hard to say this, but I feel like every team would have done it instead of add a bunker, is just to say, look, you cannot run there off the break and jump across that gap. It's a hazard. Once the game starts, you can go through there all you want, but you can't just pin it through there off the break and go.
I don't agree with that, because you're altering the game too much with the refs having to be involved.
That's the kind of the double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Is that how much can you alter it? That's why I brought it up.
Maybe
it's a conversation. We've never really done that before. Never really made a safety adjustment to.
Maybe some caution tape through there.
Just rope it off.
Yeah.
And then the ref pulls it out, pulls the stakes out, and
put a
10
spike
seconds.
strip right through that.
Spray paint an outline of a body out there.
Oh, Zach going right up.
So 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here. Infamous needs to get some offense consistent. Well, they got the offense going, but need to get the survivability going too. The X Factor's not doing anything crazy.
They don't need to.
Yeah, they don't need to.
They're playing to where the game's at right now. They're up 3.
Oh, but X Factor getting a penalty.
Yeah, I think that was a penalty on Cody. So this is an opportunity right now. Everyone tucked in a pocket. No one on that D side at all. This is Infamous's opportunity.
So here's the next move that Infamous needs to do. The guy in the center brick for Infamous needs to talk to Zach Patient and get him across into their half chip on the snake side, because Jesse's not in this laydown brick that watches that inner channel.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I mean, that's the part of the communication. Like you said, quarterback moves. Kyle, you were saying, hey, we're working together. He's helping quarterback some moves. That's the stuff that's hard to teach, though, man. And it takes a long time playing together to start figuring that stuff out. First, you got to be able to play the game long enough to be able to execute stuff like that, and then have the trust in each other to be able to get that communication going and then make something happen with it.
Definitely.
They just don't have much time to work with here, I mean, these points are going long. There's 4 minutes left. They need 3 just to tie.
Yeah, and on a field like this, where you can really lock out a lot of stuff, I'd say you'd want to look to close this point in like minimum 30 seconds if you're Infamous.
Yeah, but I mean, their body language does say that they're all looking for it, right? They're probing. I mean, you got guys out of bunker, other than maybe D3, who's tucked into a spot a little bit, but the wedge is on his feet looking. Here comes Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall's going to move up.
I don't know if we were able to see. So that's what I'm talking about right now between Jesse and Meter. Meter talked to Jesse, pulled him back from the tower into the corner as he went to the Snake Aztec, down to the back center, and then Meter's now all the way over on the Dorito can. I guarantee you they had a little conversation there about that switch and put them in a great position.
Yeah, well, because Infamous wasn't either in position or didn't want to have the will to push the issue, they've allowed X Factor to reposition a little bit now. So X Factor's in a better spot. They're not all tucked in really close to each other. Meter did get out, and they catch Ryan Hall out of Snake 1. So
that was Tom Guest just being disciplined, waiting for Ryan.
Tom Guest is a hell of a gunfighter, man.
And so, like, this move could have happened a lot earlier.
For sure.
Ooh, it looks like Patient might have got one of this.
Yeah.
That was a potential penalty, but nothing thrown.
There's a Meter, but good job on Jesse right now. I don't think they know he went. I really like that move from Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse Stevens is going to go.
Oh,
Jesse Stevens was going to go for it. He does get picked up, though.
If he had his gun lucky, how many backs he has.
Should have stopped at the tower, gun up. He could have caught some bodies there. But I like the effort by Jesse.
Someone was coming down the Dorito side behind
I mean,
him.
this is stuff that you can't have happen, though, counting off the bodies. See, you got to run that in.
Not impossible.
Infamous
2
did get,
minutes.
hey, it took them some time, but they got the point. They got 2 minutes to work with to score 2 to tie. But on this field, minute points, that's going to be tough. You really have to ride on that aggressive edge, and this is kind of a hard field to do that consistently, at least. Definitely possible, though. Absolutely possible. I mean, I'm assuming, I'm not going to ask you guys what game plan you're running, but I'm sure you ran some let's try to score a point in 15-second type situations. I mean, how probable is, 2 1-minute points out here in this situation right now for Infamous?
It's tough. I mean, I know in our last game when we got up by 2 and there was 1 minute for Revo, I felt like we were in a pretty good position. Obviously, you never know. And I think Revo got a major as they were coming through.
Yeah, that's always a risk,
they should have
too,
won.
right?
They should have won that point, putting it as a 1-point spread with 40 seconds left, but they ended up getting a major. But I think this field's pretty hard.
You almost need a kill or 2 off the break to allow that push.
And then your guys have to know where the hole came from, whether it's that Dorito side can or whether
who got shot, right?
Yeah, who got shot? Where's that hole? How can we play off of it?
Again, but tough, though. That's a lot of variables that need to go your way.
Yeah.
Definitely probable. It can happen. I'm sure we're going to see that at some point this weekend.
That's what makes this field so important to win the first few points.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing teams, so Impact and Damage had pretty solid days today by going a couple points and then playing relatively defensive. Take some positions, don't do anything special or crazy. It worked out for them. They were winning low-scoring games, but they were still winning the games nonetheless, 3-1 games. So...
yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just get it done.
Yeah.
Again, Arturo, Alex, Ryan over here. Archie on that back line on the snake side.
Ooh, big bite again for Arturo. Goes all the way to the snake off the break, makes it clean.
That's a penalty. Marcelo pulling out Marcelo and Ryan.
The Dynasty does get a kill out of that home shooting Karslev.
Nice fill from Alex, though. He saw the penalty and he goes D side and gets to the wedge. Legion does stack up 2 bodies here. Again, only 3 minutes and 15 seconds to work with, needing 2 to tie, and definitely playing aggressive and getting a little bit of a gift there with that penalty.
Oh, and Alex gets shot. I don't know.
No.
I don't. It's right
off.
off.
Doesn't pull him.
That's right. Yeah, it was on his hopper or his head.
Well, they might be getting another penalty here. Oh, looks like he's good to go.
That ref has a Hermesis headband, so I believe, Russians still have 4 bodies, but this is, again, what Dynasty wants, the points to slow down.
Archie just made a move out here to the snake corner, undetected, which that snake corner has a lot of shots into a lot of different areas of the field.
Yeah, Arturo still posted up inside right now, and Legion still with these 2 bodies. The clock is burning off right now. Still down to 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
If Malloy or the snake player for the Russians can find a way to get this trade on Arturo, now they have that hole on the Dorito side, and the Russians can start pushing.
Kirill going to make a move across to get into D2, try to push that D side.
And Alex is set up. He's looking for the guy just to come through on Arturo, it looks like.
Kirill looking for a bounce shot into Arturo.
How do you guys feel about the bounce shots? Been hearing there's a decent amount out there.
I feel like they're inconsistent. Sometimes you just rip a guy right out of his spot, and other times they're just not respecting it, and they're able to play through it.
And also you got to be careful because these points are going long, so you don't want to run through 3 pods trying to shoot a bounce shot that's not working.
For sure.
Russians don't really look like they're in a position to try to win this point. I mean, we're at 135 right now.
There's probably
it's like they're waiting for Dynasty to come, but
we see this
playing
sometimes
Dynasty
where a team will play like they need 1 when they really need 2. Because, I mean, look how tucked in they all are into their spots, and now we're down to 120. So they need to really, honestly, make something happen in the next 20 seconds to really have any chance.
Yeah, and I put some of that on Malloy here as an experienced player. Should be looking at this scoreboard right in front of him.
Yeah, I mean,
really looking to make something happen.
I mean, maybe they're thinking, hey, just don't take a big loss to Dynasty on the spread. That's the only thing I could think of why they're not running into guns right now.
Kirill just muscles Arturo in to get to that 50 brick, but they do shoot Sergey.
Yeah, but Dynasty's doing enough, man. Down to 40 seconds now.
And Archie shoots a snake 1. coming back out to the corner. I think that will be it for Russians, even if they do win this point here.
Right. Yeah, but again, just now down to 30 seconds. So, I mean, Kirill's going to need to shoot out Arturo, and then Malloy's going to have to launch. But Alex has also been alive this whole time, too, and they do get the shot on Malloy. So now Alex is going to come through.
Really good playing by Alex.
And he's going to pause for a second, and they're actually going to concede the point.
Malloy walking back to look at Alex, thinking he put a ball on him.
Well, as we well know, sometimes a ball will hit you, but it won't leave any paint. And then everyone sees a flash, ref goes in there to check you, and there's no paint. That does happen occasionally. If a ref sees you, if a ball hits you and a ref sees it, doesn't matter how much paint it left, you're getting pulled. But that's not how always it goes down. So, yeah, I mean, as crafty veteran, Alex Frazier getting it done out there, and that's going to be enough for Dynasty. And, I mean, it looked like they might have 10 seconds left to go, so probably going to see another point, but...
Yeah, Alex better being lucky than good.
Yeah, we say that all the time. I'd rather be lucky than good any day, and twice on Sundays.
Here we go, looking at Infamous here.
So here, just 2 minutes left to go. Infamous does still have a chance, but do they have enough aggression to get it done? Can they get through these guns? X Factor going short, but keeping 5 bodies alive most importantly, but it is a 5-on-5 break. Actually seeing more 5-on-5 breaks this afternoon than we saw this morning. This morning was much more of a bloodbath off the break.
Yeah, I think people are realizing how important it is to have those bodies to try to find a way to close those points out.
Infamous spreading the field on the D side to getting to that back bunker. They're already in D2. And here comes Patient looking pretty quick. He's going to dive into the brick.
And I don't think anybody saw that. Oh, and then Billy getting shot on the outside for X Factor.
Yeah, that's a tough death for Billy. He got shot kind of just glimpsing around from that from the stand-up temple.
Again, this game is counting down the. We're getting to a minute here.
Yeah, similar situation.
Need to close it, but shooting out Cody Bayless out of the Dorito side can for X Factor.
Giving him a little bit extra.
Well, Infamous is attempting it. They're now past the 50 in the middle of the field.
X Factor has a guy, I think that's TJ Danner in the back center.
Well, Patient tries it, but runs into Colt's gun. Oh, but they're running to pull out Colt as well. Meter Nino still alive, back corner bunker here, Snake side. Also back center, TJ Danner.
Look at that, TJ's still alive, just turning out of the
and then Infamous gets a penalty, so I think that no matter what, that's going to be it.
Good job for TJ and Meter. Still be alive right here. Callie and their Snake trying to do everything he can.
Not much he can do, though.
Yeah, he's looking at a 2-on-1. And that's it.
And yeah, he gets eaten up by Meter, and that is going to do it as time expires. So that should do it. I'm just wondering if they're going to play this next 10 seconds here with Dynasty. It looks like they are.
What do you mean? We're talking about the Russian 9-second point team.
That's true.
They don't want to play that.
They are down 3 points, though.
They're down 3 points. What?
11 seconds. Well,
margin matters. So.
Well, margin does matter. But let's talk about Tigerware a little bit.
Yeah.
So what do you guys got coming out? Where can people go to get you got any drops coming up? And let's pump the website.
Yeah, we've gotten pretty good with the manufacturing process, pumping out stuff a lot more consistently. Now we have some gloves that we got now that you might have been seeing some little sneak peek pictures of that will be released probably in the next coming week. But working on some other products, some new beanies, new apparel, and some other little secret stuff as well.
And it's tigerwear.co, right?
Tigerwear.co. Right.
Well, let's see if Legion can do it here with 7 seconds left to go. As body coming off for him. 2 bodies now coming off, and it's not going to matter. So Dynasty going to take a 3-point victory. And X Factor looking pretty solid against Infamous. That was, again, nothing special. They're just, like you said, Mouse, they're just playing the field the way it's supposed to be played. What do you got for me? Anything funny? Oh.
We were trying to figure out who that new kid is on the Russians.
They picked up a couple guys from Florida. because they've been kind of centering their training out of Tiki's Paintball, which is an awesome paintball park. We went there for the 10-man. It was amazing. So they're trying to get – it looked like they were running with the starting 5, but they do have a little bit more guys on the roster trying to get out there as well, too. But they definitely got some work to do. 2 more sets to go. Houston Heat and the Ironmen, Revo and the Hurricanes coming up next, and then Dynasty Saints, X Factor, and Legion to close out day number 1 here, 2023. NXL Sunshine State Major here in Orlando, Florida. Matty Marshall, Spica, Mouse, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, of course, always.
Thank you.
Diesel going 1-1 today. Look for them tomorrow, and it was a really nice win they had against Revo. So you guys are fired up. Looking forward to see what you bring here center court tomorrow on Saturday. So stick with us. We'll be right back.